Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 4 vs 4 on Oasis of Shar. Playing on Team 1 as the Space Marines, we've got Muscle Mads. We've got Krennic playing as the Imperial Guard. We've got Bones 590 also playing as the Imperial Guard. And we've got Hellguard rounding off the team as the Space Marines. Whereas on Team 2, playing as the Eldar, we've got Dr. Satan. We've got Kevin Spacey, of all people, playing as the Space Marines. We have got Capo playing as the Chaos Space Marines. And we've got Ivan Decked playing as the Necrons. Lots of factions, lots of things to go on for, and quite a Imperial theme going on the southern side, fighting for the good Imperial truth. I imagine it looks like we've got Hellguard attempting to open up the Salamander opening, maybe potentially going for the Thunderfire cannons. He is playing Salamanders. If you don't know, it's a unification thing, which we will see on the channel at some point when the mods catch up with Definitive Edition. But yeah, for a second I thought, hang on a minute, this is Soulstorm, this is not how the game works. But there we go, yeah, we're on Oasis of Shar. Plenty of juicy bits to be fighting over in the centre. Generally, you'll see these two teams on either far-flung sides going on into the centre, do some argy-bargy, whereas the far-flung teams were fighting over the far-flung bits. I do believe this is also the first time that we have seen the Eldari in a game of Definitive Edition. Very exciting stuff. Look at our beautiful Ulfway skin. Yes, there we go. I've been known to have a lack of understanding of Eldar craft world, but there we go. Ulfway is on the pitch with their wonderful colour scheme. And if you're into colour schemes, by gum, we've got a blooming sponsor for the channel for the next month or so. Look at it, down on the bottom right side, it's player support. If you've got a pile of shame at home that needs painting, those boys and girls over there are able to professionally paint your bits and bobs with remarkable skill. So, links in the description to their website down below. Give them a look. Reasonably priced, for reasonable service, all that good stuff, and thank you for supporting the channel. And we've got Force Commander for Muscle Mads. Mad for the muscles, looking to see if we can punch some Eldari nonsense, but they've also got... I mean, I get it, Spacey, you know, he's in space. That makes sense, although, I don't know if it's forgiven by the internet yet. I imagine not. Imagine once you cross that Rubicon, that's it, you're shamed and chagrined forever and ever, and quite rightly so. Well, a massive Imperial Guardsman holding the centre, forcing the Space Marines back. You will also notice I've turned the shadows off for this game. There was a chap in the comments, which I'm very grateful for, has said that there's a problem with the shadows at the moment for making the games run for vast majority of people, although I don't know whether that's my machine being a bit silly. So the developers are aware of the shadows causing an issue, but you know what, I don't mind. It's easy to see things. The shadows do confuse my peepers quite some. Well, the Imperial Guard of... No, sorry, you're not the Imperial Guard. You are the Necrons. You've captured the southern relic part. The Banana Marines seem to be doing a fairly good job on the northern side, and there's a little bit half and half at the moment in the centre. The Chaos Space Marines have got their heavy bolters, which they do have access to in Tier 1, as opposed to the Space Marines, who only have access to their flamers in Tier 1, but... little extra fire support if you're going up against a massive guardsman. I mean, the flamers do AoE damage and also easily break the morale. I mean, they've got 100 morale starting, so very easy to basically stop them from doing much damage. Broken morale does allow them to run faster, so it lets them get out of combat a lot more efficiently, but basically drops their DPS to just above 0. That's alright, plenty more boys going off, but again, as we saw in the game in the previous, or should I say a previous game earlier on this week, don't stand too close to each other. If you're going up against flamers, which the flamers have now gone home for whatever reason, all the boys will get damaged. Spread your boys out, you know.
Position secure.
You don't need to be shoulder to shoulder. We're not in Napoleonic warfare at the moment. Although, if anyone was clever enough to make a Napoleonic mod for Dawn of War, that would be absolutely remarkable. In fact, if anyone's got any modding experience who wants to get involved in some sort of Napoleonic shenanigan, please do message me. I do have an idea for a game that I'm making. We are, believe it or not, in the Mr. Landshark Studios making our own game here. But that is a tale for another time. Not when the Space Marines and the Alpha Legion. The Alpha Legion are absolutely wrecking face against all these guys. The command squad a little bit later in getting out their psyker, almost losing their actual commander there, which is a bit of a poor show for them. Space Marine Scout on Space Marine Scout action. At the moment, the Eldar are just kind of just chilling out at the moment, building up a webway gate and getting into Tier 2. They've got 3 plasma generators, so I imagine there's potential for a lot of vehicle play later on. And the Necrons are chilling out, man. You could do a little bit of pushing and shoving. I mean, the Space Marines down there, oh, I see what you're doing. You're going for a mass of sniper rifles. Maybe a little bit too gun-ho on the plasma generators. I don't think you need 4. I mean, it's very rare that you'll need more than 2 in Tier 1 as a general guesstimation. The centre and the southern points have been captured by the Team 2. But it's not all over. The Imperial Guard now going for grenade launchers and sergeants. You've also... Oh, no, don't go for heavy bolt turrets here. What are you doing, man? Waste of money. Maybe put them around here, potentially. But even then, 2 turrets can basically pay for other things that you can move around and fight with across the battlefield. I mean, a unit is essentially just a maneuverable turret when you think about it. In the grand scheme. Well, the commander's dead. That's a sad time for him. That's a sad time indeed. But the Banana Marines will be shaking their way on over. What is these Imperial Guardsmen doing? Ah, you've gone for quick Tier 2. We've also gone for the tactical control and the mechanized command. Tut tut! Not too keen on that.
Command.
Go for one or the other. Commit to the bit. That's what I say. Well, that's not true. You can do that. Just have an idea. And I don't know if you've gone for any upgrades or anything like that. No, that's a lie. You have. You've gone for a morale upgrade. So I assume you've gone for other upgrades as well. Here come the scout snipers.
I am the Emperor.
And at the moment, the Necrons don't have any infiltration detection on the front lines, although the builder units are infiltration detection, but they can be easily killed by sniper rifles. So it's a bit of a catch-22 situation. Necrons are now just going to stand there and die slowly but surely. The Necron Lord can throw down a solar pulse, which will spot these guys quite nicely. And to be fair, the Builder Scouts do have quite a large range on their infiltration detection. Oh, so you're not scouts, you're Imperial Guardsmen. You don't get infiltration. That's not how this game works. We're backed up by Burns 590. Oh, it's possible. Although, pull you. Oh, you've been abandoned. Rascals. Yeah, he's just holding the line. Imperial Guard, known for their innate desire to die standing, which you've got to respect, really. Well, the middle does not look like it's shoving or being pushed anytime soon. They've got fully fledged squads of Chaos Space Marines with their aspiring champions and their plasma pistols as well. And the Eldar are looking like they're massing a whole bunch of lads. You could move this stuff now and kill this stuff now if you really wanted, rather than sending a singular Guardian into decap stuff. I mean, with this scouting up... There we go, you're moving forward. That's beautiful. Oh, we're being engagement going on. Some Grey Knights throwing down some psychic nonsense towards these guys. Breaking morale and doing large amounts of AoE damage. Then they develop a turret, but the Heretic dies pretty quickly, and just like that, a brief moment of me looking at a singular Guardian doing bugger all. We've missed up some action, but that's alright. You'll forgive me, I'm sure. The listening post crumbles like Ravita between the might of the Grey Knights before they continue the charge forward. Well, there are 3 upgrade listening posts, but I don't think that'll cause them too much of a problem, as their chaplain will help with the health regen of everyone nearby. So cracking them on down, we do have some Black Templars from the Space Marines here. Maybe potentially going for a flanking maneuver or a bit of base bashing. A demoralising shout from the chaplain slows down these Chaos Space Marines and makes them more vulnerable to that damage incoming just because they can't run away. So a potential squad wipe. They're not quite to manage to get out of there in the nick of time. Necrons, move! You've got an opportunity. No, sorry, actually. Infiltrated scouts. Although, mind you, the Ghost Turret should help you defending that. The Black Templars have sorted out that one poor Commissar. I've also got Dark Reapers coming in. So at the moment, the Imperial Fists are about to be absolutely surrounded from all sides. Looking less than ideal for them at the moment, and the lack of maneuverability with the, there's no Rhino, there's nothing really to get them out of there. So it's either a definitely last stand or a long walk past a whole bunch of Dark Reapers who was going to absolutely open up a can of the bad stuff all over their morning breakfast. Soul Marines though, they die, which is a nice little win for them, I suppose. But actually, maybe the flanking stuff didn't work. The Dark Reapers are now forced to run away, which is a bit of a problem for them in the grand scheme, although not using their fleet of foot. Ah, yes, there we go. The close combat basilisk. You can't miss if you're 2 meters away. Take that, you bastards. So yeah, you know what? No. well done to Muscle Mads. He said, no, we're not going to die today. We're just going to continue fighting. We're going to use our momentum to keep us swinging. And there we go. Another listing post on the way out at the moment. With artillery support. Force commander for Kevin goes backwards as the guard push forward as well. Ghost Space Marines over here are focusing on the Space Marines, but have you not got tier 2 yet? You have not got tier 2 yet, right? Okay, fair enough. That's why I've not gone for plasma guns. I always recommend going for plasma guns against heavy infantry, because that's kind of what they do. It's their general purpose in life. More morale being broken, and the morale breaking is vastly increased by that Basilisk and the AoE damage it provides. And the Scouts are once again trying to push back the Necrons, but the Necrons aren't having any of it. The Riff is meant to be infiltration detection as well, but the Ghost Turret is spotting them as well from a distance, I think, or something like that. And now the mass are pushing. I don't think there's enough Scouts, Mr. Helgard. Which I do believe is a reference to a fantastic first-person shooter from a million years ago. Shame they only made one game. There we go. Now got a librarian on the front line as well. If you've got the micro to hack it, and you're trying to fandangle some Space Marine action in PvP, the Free Pimps build, as it is officially called, I don't care what anyone else says, it's not called the Free Kings build. It's called the Free Pimps build. Librarian, Chaplain, and your Lord Commander. Was that a bit of friendly fire from the bastards there? Beautiful stuff, we love that. Yeah, always do that, because the Chaplain, Force Commander, and Librarian all bring something remarkably good to their squads that they join. And they're just bloody good. Once you get them all upgraded from the Sacred Artifact, absolute Freeman army. That's what they are. I mean, this Forceman isn't going to go down, though, is he? Someone just end his life. He's miserable at the moment. But he does shout, no retreat, no surrender, which you've got to appreciate. Got to respect the tenacity and the balls on this man. He does die. And the Salamanders have given up on the Necrons, which, fair enough. I don't blame you. Although you might need to, defend yourself at some point. But never mind, there's a big battle going on. The Eldari mass go forward. We're getting some lightning stuff on them, but they're able to bring forth lightning themselves with the Eldar Farseer. She's right in the middle. Another big electric blast. More zappy bits than you've ever seen in your life, young man and or woman watching this. Landspeeder trying to get some digs in there. Now got double Basilisk, to be very careful that the Raptor squads don't jump over and do some damage to them. Oh no, that was not the jumping I was expecting. Expecting the jump to be a little bit longer, but we'll take a leapfrog. The Reapers don't like these artillery pieces coming forward there. They aren't the most durable of units. They are packing the damage in there. The grenades have been reduced to a smaller number, but also I don't know if these guys realise that the Space Marine snipers are in here, as they can more or less one-shot a Dark Reaper. But while the combat goes on, and I always say that in a team game, if you see your allies fighting a big old war somewhere else on the map and you don't have the space to really go and support them. Just put pressure on the enemy. That will then force them to respond or lose parts of their base. And the Chimera, wonderful choice for quickly repositioning your fighting forces across a very long and wide battlefield. That is... shit, what's this match called? Oasis of Shar, that's what it's called. There we go, look at that. I remember things. Well, you don't seem to have any men with you, which is a problem. Cascan's now coming forward for Krennic. Now, I don't know if they've changed this in Definitive Edition, but in old school Soulstorm, it's very rare that you actually see people go for the grenade launcher and plasma gun upgrade, mainly because even though, yes, pound for pound, as an individual shot, these weapons do more damage, the actual firing rate on the Kasrkins themselves for regular weapons means that they do more damage anyway, so they're kind of useless upgrades when you think about it. But I could be wrong, they might have patched that for this game, although I don't think they've actually changed anything of the unit values. I think it's all just cosmetic stuff, because, you know, you'll have a million people up in arms for changing a game. I mean, you had the response from the community for them changing the sound effects on the intro cinematic, which they were right to do. The sounds are important. But yeah, they've killed all the Necrons. The Necrons didn't decide to bees on Herm. I suppose they do have 2 Necron monoliths. We're now going exclusively for Immortals. I don't think this is going to fare well for you. These guys don't do much damage to infantry units. But there we go. You'll also get as many in a squad neither. Only a maximum of 5. War's going to try and hold the line on their own, but now they're up against Space Marines, Leman Russes, a triple helping of Basilisks as well. But again, you know, if your enemy is being if your ally is being attacked somewhere else, then your teammates can put pressure on elsewhere, which is exactly what the Chaos Space Marines are doing in the sense. I could really see the Eldar maybe building up some webway gates over on this side, just so they can, you know, throw down their Dark Reapers elsewhere. Or, I don't know, fight the Space Marines down here. They've got a lot of their Yellow Marines over here, so you know that they've got maybe a little bit of a lacking of a defense over on this side. In fact, that is what the Black Templar are doing, bringing forth a triple helping of Hellfire Dreadnoughts, although very small Space Marine squads now. You are 15 plus minutes. You are now allowed officially. You have my blessing. You can build these squads up to larger sizes if you wish. All the missiles coming on in, as well as the... Oh no, I thought you were attacking then, but you're not. Well, Grav Tank looking like it might be bringing some people on over, but maybe potentially not. The Space Marines of Muscle Meds have now got some Terminators. Stupidly tanky infantry, especially when properly supported. But up against all this firepower, they might be struggling. Will require some efforts from everyone else, but the Imperial Guard decided to play defensive, which is not what you want. I've said before, they're a defensive faction, but the main falling point for a lot of Imperial Guard players is that they play too defensively. It's called Dawn of War, not Dawn of sit at home at your base and stick your thumb up your backside. No matter how much you want to. Well, the plasma generators are being taken down. But they've got plenty more where they came from.
You will fall!
The Dark Reapers now having to run past this gauntlet of fire, which might seem quite useful, but the Eldar could have probably avoided it just by running close to the edge, I suppose. And now some home-built turrets just for defensive reasons. We're now moving the Basilisks and the Leman Russes into a good position. Got to be careful there. There are plenty of missile launchers on this side at the moment. I suppose the missile launchers won't do much if they're been blasted onto their backsides. The Black Templar still have got one chaplain and a Grey Knight, causing all sorts of issues on the backlines for now. Lost 2 listing posts. Russes are gonna... No, you can take that. Just move your caskets a little bit further forward. Have faith in the armour of the Leman Russ. Blessed Machine Spirit will hold its own. And Hellfire Dreadnoughts don't do insane damage against any particular kind of armour type. They've only got one missile and one auto cannon. There's kind of like a general support unit. You wouldn't rely on these exclusively or solely for anti-vehicle capabilities. Well, the poor Force Commander gets bonked by the Grey Knight. And the Chapel Barracks being hacked down one by one. Now I've got the Banana Marines coming over to the Necron side of things. I don't think they've got much in the way of an army at the moment. Doesn't seem like it. They've just got one lonely squad of Necron warriors. They have lost their monolith down here. Plenty of recycling that they could do down here if they got a Tomb Spider. The Necron Lord will be coming back. I assume he died at some point. The Chaos Space Marines well and truly holding on to this bit here. They've put down a couple of heavy bolter turrets, which will be slowly broken down by the Basilisks, although you can't really rely on Basilisks to break down buildings from that far away. Sentinel moving a bit too far forward. We're just moving a bit back. Don't really want him to be taking the brunt of any offensive. Down over here, the Space Marines have survived. The Forbidden Archive taken down, but I'm running on the assumption that the Necron Lord has already got all his bits and bobs. Going to go for Tomb Spider, just in the nick of time before that Great Summoning Core died. It's pretty damn good. And the Necron Lord, I assume, had some sort of Resurrection Orb, as he's now got an army where he didn't before. Only downside of the Resurrection Orb is that, yes, you've got all your models back, but they are half health, which will be very easy to take down with this kind of AoE damage coming from those Grey Knights. Really getting some good value out of that damage there. And now basically losing the army that he worked so hard to bring back to life. The Black Templar coming forward. They're going to do what they can, as best they can. And the Chaos Space Marines still being a nuisance in the middle. Looking for those horror squads to get on in. Not sure why they've been summoned just as of yet. Tend to see them being dropped in around the flanks of a vehicle rather than moving around with chaff. It's now a full-blown scrum over around the Necron base. Necron will have first taken a little bit of damage, but I don't think the Space Marines have now got the punching power required to bring down that monolith, so they will run away with their tail in between their legs. But not a bad time, to be honest. You've done your damage to the Necrons. You've killed a fair few of their plasma generators, so why not just go home for now? They've basically been knocked out of the game for the next couple of minutes or so, which will allow you to put some pressure on into the centre. The Eldar are just kind of chilling out at the moment, not really doing much. They've got some fire dragons. I mean, when they actually attack, they will be doing a lot of stuff, but at the moment, their opponents, their allies, are fighting a 3v4 battle. All well and good having a big army, but if you don't use it, I mean, a large army that stays at home has the same combat value as no army that doesn't exist. That's what I'm trying to communicate. Necron Lord grabbing someone by the nuts and throwing them. Always goes for the nuts, does the Necron Lord. Not sure why. It was hurt as a youth, I imagine. Oh, Tomb Spider looking for some recycling, although he's a little bit out in the sticks at the moment. He is a vehicle. He will resist a lot of this incoming damage, but even a vehicle will be broken down by small arms fire if concentrated enough. And sadly, he dies. This is how the Necron player was doing so well earlier on by massing the units, but just... Like, where were we teleporting then? We were teleporting to safety. Necron Lord is, statistically, on paper, the hardest lord to kill in the game. He has a teleport that gets him out of the business. If you get his phase shift, he becomes practically immortal for about 20 seconds or so. And he also regens health during that time as well. So, like, killing a Necron Lord is incredibly difficult. Unless you watched my game the other day, in which case he died 4 times. But we don't talk about that. Not anymore. Well, now it's just the Black Templar trying to hold back all this on their own. If only there was some sort of army that could help them. But actually the army's going to come in and do some damage. I hope. Well, put some pressure on those guys. Ah, look at that. A mass of Khorne Berserkers. There we go. I wonder if they got their charge upgrade or something. No, they haven't. They're just going to listfully walk into combat. We're fine with that, I suppose. Although, being killed quite quickly, actually. Now, that's probably why you don't see Khorne Berserkers very often. All the disadvantages of the Raptors with their lack of survivability. None of the advantages of like an Assault Terminator squad that die with great difficulty and also have a teleport to get them in and out of combat. Well, aesthetically pleasing, all the same. Nice unit. There's the Eldar, look at them go. They're playing the feud, they're getting involved. And this is a very terrifying force here. I don't know if the Imperial... I mean, yeah, at the moment they're playing Sim City. I mean, this is, again, all this money here and all this squad cap here isn't serving anyone. When the Space Marines are dying, you could pick these guys up and move them over here if you really wanted to. But that's not happening, I'm afraid. And the Eldar are very rapidly breaking down the Space Marines. And with a lack of rhinos, they are a bit shafted. They're just going to have to commit to the bit and keep on pushing towards the Necron base. And they've attempted to build up loads of plasma generators. Now, I don't know about this. Every time you queue up a building, it costs money. So, they've got like loads of money just like saved up here. That they don't... There we go. Getting rid of them means I've now got more money to spend on other bits and bobs. So the Banana Marines are doing their thing. They've lost their entire base down here, but they've rebuilt a stronghold over yonder. So that will keep them in the game. Although their economy is now shafted. So whatever men that they have at the moment is basically what they have for quite some time. Imperial Guard, unsure of what they really want from life. Probably to watch out for the Eldari over here. They've got the fire prisms as well. A tank that can turn its attention from anti-infantry to anti-vehicle and building firepower, should they want or need either of them. Still going for Khorne Berserkers. You know, you got to respect it. Got to respect the grind, man. They're just not really getting much in there. Point blank Basilisk still firing away. Look at that. One excellent thing about artillery as well, as you saw there, knocked them on the backsides, preventing them from running away. So if these guys really committed, they could have kept on top of them and maybe have got a squad wipe there. But much like the Imperial Fists, the Necrons are also in a bit of a bind. Have you got another monolith somewhere else? Oh yeah, he's building stuff elsewhere. He's just built another base. Fine, yeah, why not? Why not do that? I mean, effectively, you don't need your strategic points for economy. You just need it for build speed. So, good stuff. Alright, well, the minefields, they've been spotted. Which is not great. The heavy weapons teams, there's none of them. There's none of them with las cannons. It's a bit of a pain. The Eldari move forward. Keen to take on the Imperial Guard's defensive formation. The grenade launchers are flying. The artillery is a-buzzing. And the Eldari have massed all their infantry into a very small, compact force which will maximise the amount of damage being done to them. Just look how quickly those models die. Whatever you do, boys and girls, don't clump all your units together. I've said it already. but it does bear remembering as a visual representation there. Well, there we are. The Imperial Guard defending half and home. Like only they can. The last of the Imperial... the non-Imperial... Why am I getting Necrons confused with Imperial Guard? I've no idea, but the Imperial Fists have now... Oh, because it's the Imperial Fist attacking the Necrons. And that's confusing my brain. Okay. But yeah, the Imperial Fist can now regain their economy by building up over onto here. The Force Commander using a orbital bombardment, which shouldn't really have hit those guys. I mean, they could have run away from that, but they decided to run headlong into the same with these basilisks. Do these Imperial Guardsmen have a death wish? I can only assume, sir. And there, in the distance, is the Avatar of Cain. And a lot of heavy weapons teams firing away at that Predator. All of them gone for... Oh, is it just a massive auto cannon you've gone for? Okay, so light damage to vehicles, but not a huge amount. Beautiful little zappy zap from the Farseer there. Just knock everyone around. Shame it doesn't do that much damage to vehicles. Oh, mass of Hellhounds. Trundle on forward. Only one squad of Fire Dragons at the moment. Now, if you're thinking about good unit compositions for the Eldari, one very common late game unit composition is go for the maximum amount of Warp Spiders, which is free. Build them all up to maximum number. Whatever they teleport on and focus fire on basically gets melted away. Infantry-wise, that is. And then for your anti-vehicle stuff, a mass of Wraith Lords, give them the Bright Lance upgrade, and then put them on range stance. That's quite a common thing you'll see from Eldari players in the late game. Space Marines and Imperial Guard still pushing forward. The Avatar of Cain able to boost the production capabilities. I apologise for that yawn. I'm very tired at the moment. Yeah, boosts the production capabilities of their buildings. Also a handy close combatant. Anyone nearby doesn't really suffer any morale damage. Gotta be careful though, he's does tend to lose in 1v1s against other relic units. Playing more of a supporting role rather than anything else. But, you know, I mean, it's canon, I guess. Over here, the Space Marines and Imperial Guard are now bringing the pain and thunder to the Chaos Space Marines. A good backline of vehicles from the Imperial Guard. And I saw a question on the Discord earlier on. Didn't get around to responding because I'm a terrible person. I was busy doing something else. But a discussion about Defilers for Chaos Space Marines. What's their function? What's their purpose? Well, they're kind of a walker. They're kind of artillery. They're kind of a bit of everything, really. Depends on what you want from them. So just think of, I mean, quite a lot of people will use them mainly as a disruptive vehicle. They will use their artillery as best they can to break apart enemy firing lines, while also getting involved in close combat against any kind of people that get too close to their own firing lines. So, a little bit of both. And the auto cannon and flame that they have on their grasp. The closer a Defiler gets, the more damage it does. And someone died. It's... Oh, Chaos. Chaos died. Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, Chaos may be dead, but the, you know, Banana Marines, while they've got a lot of models, still don't have much of an economy, I don't think. Oh, no, never mind, you do. Oh, sorry, not wrong thing. I'm getting things confused here. Actually, no, you're right. You may be lacking in green money, but I assume you're also still in tier 1 at the moment. You've been sent back in time. Oh, got a 2 spider. Getting it from the grave. You're potentially going to be able to bring up a rear army from all these recycled bodies, if you really want. Yeah, because the Necro player is basically back up and functioning. They're still building up those plasma generators. And now getting his Necron warriors up and at him.
Here to serve.
The Servitor unable to repel this Tomb Spider. And the Imperial Fists been brought down to 0 green money income. And who's died now? Is it you? Is it? Oh, the Necrons have left. Oh, boo! Why have they left? Oh, you were going to be the comeback kids. Ah, no, that's no fun. Oh well, we may as well see this game to its rotten conclusion, I guess. It's on my time, there's still plenty of it left. I mean, 2v4, 2v3.5, it's not undoable. Depends if they can fandangle some stuff. Maybe the Eldar can sneak a webway gate on the flanks of someone. It's all entirely possible, but just a shame when players drop for no seeming reason. Had everything to play for there. Well, now the Salamanders are coming in. The Black Templar bringing forth both their Terminator units. By and large, the Black Templar maybe have thrown their elite units into the fray a little bit too boisterously. The Eldari are still just minding their own business over here. I mean, literally, get your Burnsinger. Find a space. I mean, is there a space where there's not much room to do things? I mean, maybe here? I mean, will the listing post spot you? Definitely here, because they've not done the listing post for whatever reason. So you could pop down a webway gate here, and no one would notice. Of the Eldari having their Burnsingers able to teleport, be able to get your builders in there with very little trouble. Kill them as quick as you can, and if you kill the base and they've not got any more production buildings, they also lose their army as well, because you get kicked from the game. It's Eldar trickery. Because realistically, you're not getting through this, like, bloody hell, right? Well, Krennic has said, no one's getting in my base. Leave me alone. Get off my lawn, you darn kids. Fair enough. Gotta respect that man's commitment. I don't think he's got... Oh no, he's got a couple of units on the front lines. Got a couple here and there. Well, those turrets have instantly been killed-ed. And now, oh, there's a Baneblade there and everything. Didn't even realise. It just looks like a thicker Baneblade. The Eldar march. What a march it is. They've got Howling Banshees in there for some reason, but we'll take it. All the explosions. It's not looking pretty for the Eldar, but they're going to give it their best shot. Lightning right in the middle of the vehicles, targeting the Baneblade, but lightning doesn't do all that much damage to vehicles. I mean, it would be so good to see it happen right on this infantry blob here. That is... That's maybe for next time. And the Eldari unable to really stand up to a protracted engagement. Much more comfortable with the hit and run style of warfare. Are struggling to stay alive. In the sense that I think they're all dead, with the exception of the Farseer. Oh, and the Avatar, but he's going to die. Glorious hand-to-hand combat. And while being shot by the Baneblade. So crumbling into dust as he fades away. We have one lonely Bright Lance platform left over. And the Baneblade basically unscathed after that engagement. So there we go. And... oh, look, there we are. The Wraithlords now going for their mass of Bright Lances. Maybe a little bit too little too late. Kind of like the whatchamacallums, the Defilers. A little bit multi-purpose. Don't really excel at one specific thing, but they can be used in loads of different contexts, and the closer they get, the more damage potential they have. Whereas these guys dying slowly but surely.
Marine squad
We
deployed.
do have another web brigade being placed here for reasons. But nothing going on. In fact, let me swap over to the Eldar side. Maybe we'll keep our eyes open for any pale green formations down here. Because that is literally the only way I can think about it. That's the only way I can think that they can win. It's by nonsense. Mischief. But Kevin Spacey, I think this is Spanish for his left. I assume so. I'm not Spanish or Portuguese or anything south of the Humber.
All those that oppose the
Yep, he's dead. And if you noticed, no one speed up, I've just sped up the game with this button. So your game isn't broken, don't you worry about it. I just assume he's going to die, but I'm really curious to see if he does any webway trickery. Which I don't think he is, no. Maybe repositioning some of his buildings and such, but no. They're all dead. And that's a little bit of a disappointing game towards the end when people dropped out, but I think we touched on some bits and bobs in there that might help some of you get to grips with some team games. I think some individual engagements throughout that game was actually quite a good thing as well. And woe betide the man who crosses the field of mines and all this. I mean, no one did. No one even really tried, so all this money has been wasted. But aesthetically very pleasing all the same. So thank you very much to Burns590 for sending this game in via the Discords. If you want to know how to send one of your replays into the channel, links in the description for the Discord. There's a replay channel in there and all sorts. Also, thank you to Play Support for sponsoring the channel. Like I say, if you've got a pile of shame at home and you want them professionally painted, give them a look. Really, really good service. Highly recommend. And yeah, I shall see you in a bit. Peace.